Good morning. Welcome to week 2 for module 2. I just wanted to spend a few minutes talking about your last week's discussion assignment. The first question was, how do you know when somebody is mentally ill? What is mental illness? And you were right. It is hard to define. Very, very difficult to know when somebody's mentally ill. In fact, one of the problems with the homeless is you can't serve them through mental health services unless they're mentally ill. The interesting part is to assess a homeless person to find out is a very difficult issue. So how do you know who is homeless and mentally ill and who is just homeless with a whole lot of problems that don't really define themselves as being mental illnesses? The other question you had was about the DSM-4. And it was interesting to see what you think of this. This is a desk copy of the DSM-4. I like it because it's small and just easy to access. Of course, this document is going to be replaced this spring with the DSM-5. The video that you saw points a very poor picture of the DSM-4. And rightfully so, because we need to ask our questions. Why do we have to so carefully define what mental illness is? And it becomes a litigious issue that everybody wants to sue somebody for making a mistake. Everybody wants to go back now and look at the young man in the theater in Colorado and say, oh, of course he was mentally ill. Why did we not know that? And the answer is very difficult to know. There were some suggestions, and he gave them, concerning his mental issues. And people didn't pick up on it as being a dangerous issue where he was going to go get guns and shoot and kill people. Very hard to anticipate how somebody's going to act who has those kinds of behaviors that make them so different from other people and act so differently. The DSM-4 gives a guideline so that people can't be sued for making wrong interpretations of behavior. And that's why you need to have it so clearly defined. The biggest change that we're going to see in the DSM-4 is going to deal with children, probably in autism. The whole autism spectrum is being redefined. And things like Asperger's, which is a fairly new type of problem that children face, didn't start off being any kind of autism, and the only school looking at it for research purposes was Yale. And all of a sudden now it's at the top of the autism spectrum, but even now it's been removed from what you're going to see coming out and just combined into other areas. So every time this is redefined, it puts a different definition on who has what mental illness. But when you go to court and you swear that somebody's mentally ill, how do you prove it? Well, the DSM-4 is what proves it or disproves it. So as you take a look at this, just ask yourself, where can it give you a guideline of understanding somebody else's mental illness? Or is it not mentally ill? Interesting. So as we get through going through the class, that'll be questions that you may want to ask yourself. And I'd love to have you take a look at the new DSM-4 when it does become available, because you won't be seeing the one I just showed you. We had a mistake in one of my classes yesterday. It could have happened any class, but it had to do with discussions. If you have something you find is a mistake, let me know. I finally got that one resolved this morning, and it took the Blackboard people to come in and fix it, because it had nothing to do with the class itself. It had to do with a technical problem. So anyway, call me, let me know. If you have any difficulties, call me. I'm not the technical person. That's the help desk, if you can find them and get hold of them. But I can certainly try to help you figure it out. But so don't hesitate to give me a call and let's talk about it. And I'll help you with whatever I can. Also, if you have a special reason, something that seriously impedes your turning in your assignments on time, it doesn't mean drop the class because you can never make it up. Call me, talk to me. If you have a good reason for not getting something done, then let's take a look at how I can help you get it done. I don't mind changing deadlines. Everything should be flexible. but I'm not going to give it to you unless it's really a good reason. The other thing I want to remind you is that on each module, it gives you what's due that day, and it tells you what the assignment is for the week to come. So be sure you understand that you're getting to see what you can start working on for the next module. You won't be able to enter it until your Wednesday opening date on this particular class. And so everything has a start date and an ending date on being able to enter it, unless you make some special arrangements with me. And I do listen, and if it's a good reason, then we'll take care of it together. So if you have any questions, keep calling. I love hearing from you. Thanks.